You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Friday, August 17th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Friday. First thing to know is the Turkish lira dives on a threat of new sanctions. Turkey remained in the spotlight as U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin's announcement that the U.S. is prepared to slap Turkey with more sanctions if its president refuses the quick release of an American pastor. Trump later tweeted that the U.S. will pay nothing for the release of the pastor, Andrew Brunson, who is on house arrest in Turkey over terrorism charges. The Turkish lira took a dive in early morning trade, falling more than 7% against the dollar, now having lost 2/3 of its value since the beginning of the year. The second thing to know today is global stocks flinch as Turkey woes return. Related story. Global stocks were mostly lower on Friday, pre-open, as a renewed decline in the Turkish lira brought aversion to the forefront. The currency tumbled against the dollar on Friday as the U.S. stance over Pastor Andrew Brunson's arrest hit market sentiment. The third thing to know today is U.S. consumer is in focus. As a slow week for top-tier economic data comes to a close, traders will focus on the consumer mindset later on Friday. The University of Michigan will release its preliminary measure of August consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Economists expect that the index rose to 98.1 from 97.9 in July. Earlier in the week, July retail sales gave a better than expected reading, upping optimism for the American consumer's capability to continue to support the solid economy. The fourth thing to know today is mixed earnings signals to end the week. As mentioned, market participants were expected to react positively on Friday to Nordstrom's strong earnings. The department store reported a same-store sales increase that smashed expectations and increased its profit guidance for the year. Shares surged more than 9% in pre-market trade Friday. Tech stocks, however, would likely be under pressure, as NVIDIA tumbled 4.06% ahead of the open after the company issued a softer than expected guidance when it released quarterly results after Thursday's close. Applied Materials was also expected to add to the carnage, with shares sinking 5.69% after the chipmaker forecast weaker than expected earnings per share for its fiscal fourth quarter. The fifth thing to know today is oil is headed for the 7th weekly decline ahead of rig count. Oil prices managed to eke out a second day of gains of Friday, pairing yet another sharp weekly decline. The recovery occurred on the back of hopes that a meeting between Chinese and U.S. officials later in August will seek to offset recent tensions. Markets were worried a full-blown trade war between the U.S. and China would slow global growth and curb energy consumption, while a standoff between the U.S. and Turkey subsequently sparked fears of contagion among emerging markets. Our second story today is from Investing.com. A break in nat gas rally gives utilities a chance to stock up at cheaper prices. U.S. energy bulls who missed their chance to profit from $3 natural gas this summer, despite overwhelming demand for air conditioning, are setting their sights on the upcoming winter when inventories of the fuel could be at unusually low levels. The break in the market's rally also presents an opportunity for another group, utility companies that have to stock up for heating needs and can do so at cheaper prices before the weather gets cold. We've told our clients, who are mostly utilities, power generation companies, and others involved in the physical natural gas market, to take a break from buying as we expect prices to soften in the next couple of months, said Daniel Myers, analyst at Gelber & Associates, a Houston-based consultancy for natural gas. These customers don't trade the market, and they don't want to get caught in any whiplash volatility. Once prices relax a bit off the highs, I think there'll be a good window, probably in September or October, for them to buy, he said. And Investing.com brings us our third story today. Deere & Company earnings revenue beat in Q3. Deere & Company reported third quarter earnings that beat analyst expectations on Friday and reported revenue that topped forecasts. The firm reported earnings per share of $2.78 on revenue of $9.29 billion. Analysts polled by Investing.com anticipated earnings per share of $2.73 on revenue of $9.18 billion. That compared with the earnings per share of $1.57 on revenue of $7.81 billion in the same period last year. The company had reported earnings per share of $3.14 on revenue of $9.75 billion in the previous quarter. They put you with a lot of numbers in this article right off the bat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news that you can use. For today, Friday, August 17th, 2018. This has been your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Trade smart and have a great weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.